What's your best not on my watch moment? I work night security at a children's hospital downtown. Most nights are pretty quiet after 10 p.m. Just me walking the halls, checking doors, making sure the sick kids can sleep peacefully. Parents doze in those uncomfortable chairs, and the only sounds are beeping heart monitors and nurses doing their rounds every few hours. Last Tuesday around midnight, I was finishing my second floor check when I heard shouting coming from the pediatric intensive care unit. Not unusual. Sometimes kids have bad dreams or worried parents lose it from stress. But this sounded different. Angry voices getting louder by the minute. I jogged toward the noise and found this guy in his 30s absolutely losing his mind at Nurse Patricia outside room 314. He was clearly drunk, swaying on his feet, jabbing his finger inches from her face. She was pressed against the wall, looking terrified. "Where's my boy?" he was screaming. "You people can't keep me from my own flesh and blood." Through the doorway, I could see a little kid, maybe 6 or 7, peeking out from his hospital bed. Poor kid looked scared to death, like he wanted to disappear. The yelling was waking up other patients too. I could hear crying from nearby rooms. Patricia was doing her best to stay professional, speaking in that calm nurse voice. "Sir, visiting hours ended at 8 o'clock. You can absolutely see your son tomorrow morning when you're feeling better." That's when this drunk idiot grabbed her forearm and squeezed hard. She gasped and tried pulling away, but he wasn't letting go. I could see her wincing from the pain. "I'm taking him home right now," he slurred. "My kid doesn't belong in this place. These doctors just want our money." Other nurses were frantically calling for backup security, but our main guy Marcus was on his dinner break and wouldn't return for at least 20 minutes. The overnight supervisor was dealing with some emergency in the ER. This drunk father started dragging Patricia toward his son's room by her arm. The little boy saw what was happening and started crying. Real tears, the kind that break your heart. This kid was obviously sick, hooked up to multiple IVs, and his own father was about to rip him out of medical care while completely wasted. Not on my watch. No way in hell. I'm not exactly intimidating. 5'7" on a good day, maybe 160 pounds soaking wet. This angry father had at least 6 inches and 40 pounds on me. But I've been doing hospital security for 12 years, and my older brother taught me some army tricks before he deployed overseas. I walked up behind this guy and used my most authoritative voice. "Sir, you need to release the nurse immediately and step away from the patient room." He spun around, still gripping Patricia's arm tight enough to leave bruises. "Who the hell are you supposed to be? This is between me and my family. I'm hospital security and you're disturbing critically ill children. Let go of the nurse right now." He actually laughed in my face and shoved me backward with his free hand. Huge mistake. I grabbed his wrist, found the pressure point my brother showed me, and squeezed until his grip on Patricia loosened completely. "Final warning," I said, staying calm but firm. "Walk away peacefully or I'm calling the police to have you arrested for assault." Instead of backing down, this moron took a swing at my head. I ducked under his punch, spun him around, and had him in a restraint hold against the wall before he realized what happened. Patricia immediately ran to comfort the terrified little boy. "It's okay, sweetie," I heard her telling him. "Daddy's just really tired tonight. He's going to go rest now, and you can see him tomorrow when he feels much better." 2 minutes later, Marcus returned with 3 other nurses. They took over the situation while I filled out incident reports. The drunk father got escorted out in handcuffs and banned from hospital property until completing mandatory alcohol counseling. The next morning, I was clocking out when I saw that same little boy walking down the hallway with his mom. His IVs were gone, and he was carrying a small backpack. Getting discharged, finally healthy enough to go home. When he spotted me, his whole face lit up. He ran over and wrapped his tiny arms around my legs in the biggest hug. "Thank you for saving the nice nurse lady," he said, looking up at me with these huge brown eyes. "And thank you for protecting me from scary daddy." His mom started crying right there in the hallway. She explained that her ex-husband had been drinking heavily since their divorce 6 months ago, and she'd been fighting for full custody ever since. Last night's violent incident at the hospital gave her all the legal evidence she needed to keep her son safe. 3 weeks later, I found an envelope in my work locker. Inside was a crayon drawing from the little boy showing me as a superhero wearing a security badge cape. His mom had written a note, "Thank you for keeping my baby safe when I couldn't be there to protect him myself." I taped that drawing inside my locker door. Every night when I start my rounds, I see it and remember exactly why I chose this job.